Councillors, members of the gallery, the press, it is timely for me to update Council and certainly our community regarding the issues that we're faced with the South Burnett Community Hospital. It has been well documented, the issues that we've had and the withdrawal of the provider Pulse Health and the services that they provided to run the hospital as at the 30th of June this year, some 2.5 weeks ago. I was alerted to the issues some 8.5 weeks ago, and I guess with regarding to what I'm about to tell you, I sat down in the last couple of days at numerous times to write a report to make sure that I stuck to the subject matter and gave a comprehensive report with the correct details. However, I was unable to achieve that task basically because this is not a normal report that needs to be given to the South Burnett community. It's a report about not the closing of another business, not the loss of 78 jobs. It's about something that simply can't happen. And you may say to me that it has happened. Over the last 8 weeks, I guess the majority of my time as your mayor has been directed about trying to find a solution. That journey has taken me to various parts of Australia, including Sydney, Canberra, and most of southeast Queensland. Numerous visits to Brisbane, Toowoomba, and any other place that I could try to find a window that was ajar. I've said publicly that it was my role, whether I liked it or not, as the Mayor of the South Burnett Regional Council, to keep the hospital open. I've been told by my federal and state counterparts that technically that's not the role of a Mayor. Well, I can tell that my state and federal counterparts it is the role of this Mayor, because simply no one else outside the South Burnett Regional Council is prepared to do anything. I've gone, I guess, with an open mind and an open notebook to say to whether it was a hospital provider, whether it was a state government officer, whether it was a minister of the state or federal government, or whether it's as high as the Deputy Prime Minister. I'm not here asking for money. I'm simply asking for an opportunity to go back to tell our community of how we can keep our hospital open. I've had many sleepless nights over the last 7 or 8 weeks, and probably the worst was a couple of nights ago when I guess I almost gave up, because I've got through doors but haven't got any further. If I went to the federal government said it was a state government issue. If I went to the state government said we look after public hospitals and it's licensed and regulated by the federal government. If I went to a provider, the provider would say, whilst we understand, Mr. Mayor, what you're saying, we've done due diligence, or we've done this, or we've looked at that, the facility is too small for us, or etc., etc., etc. And so wherever I went, and whatever I asked, people were prepared to give a letter of support, but they weren't prepared to give this council a solution. And I've thought hour upon hour upon hour about walking away and saying basically health, like transport or education, is not a core business of the South Burnett Regional Council. I cannot understand how any minister, any MP, any person in a position of power, whether they come from the South Burnett or not, cannot pick up the phone and simply say 3 words: "Can I help?" Those 3 words have not been spoken to me in the last 8 weeks. I would believe that if you are appointed as the Federal Health Minister, your job is to look after people who are sick and to look after hospitals. I don't know where our federal government is going. I don't know whether there is any value anymore in crusades with royal commissions to try to bring down an opposition leader or to spend enormous money there. I don't know about the people in the gallery today when they vote for their local MP or their Member of Parliament in Canberra. But I know why I voted for them. Because at a moment and a time of need, I expect them to stand up for their constituents. I need the support, and I know I have it, from Councillor Tessman. I need the support, and I know I have it, from Councillor Duff. I need the support, and I know I have it, from Councillor Campbell. I need the support, and I know I have it, from Councillor Palmer. I need the support, and I know I have it, from Councillor Green. That's not enough to get us over the line. I know I have the support of Deb Talon, Louise Kenny. I don't know how many emails Louise has sent me, but we need community support. And Louise, we've been talking about petitions, and I hate the word because it's normally about something that can't be changed. But I think we can do it better. I think we can do submissions. What I'm calling on today is I need 100 people. I need 100 people, and hopefully, I know I've got 1, hopefully I've got 6 to start with. I need those 100 people to get 50 submissions signed within 7 days. I want to have 5,000 submissions, not petitions, submissions, addressed to the Federal Health Minister, to the Prime Minister, to the Premier, to the State Health Minister, to all the providers, to the Darling Downs Health Board, and to magnificent organisations and hospitals like St Andrews in Toowoomba. And I've talked to board members there and the CEO and the Treasurer, and we're a chance. I can't say. And it's no fault of theirs or whatever. But I have to get in the door. You get me in the door, I'm not good at a lot of things, but you get me in the door with something that I believe in, and I'll do my darndest to get the result the South Burnett community wants. I spoke to the treasurer of one of these organisations. They asked me the questions. I said, stop asking me questions. I want to present to the board. Give me the opportunity to present to the board, because when you give us a barrier, I will give you the answer to break down that barrier. Because let me reinforce this. This is our hospital. It's not about treating private patients or people with more money than others. It's about people who can't wait in line. It's like the person at the gatekeeper at the Nanango races who told me without the community hospital he would not be here today, because he could not simply wait in the public sector and the length of time anymore. So he went and saw a specialist here at St Albans, as I still call it, and he was told, if you don't get operated on within 6 months, you won't be here. So if you wait in that public list up there, people will die. People will die in the South Burnett. So to the federal government, to the state government, to our Deputy Prime Minister, to Ken O'Dowd, to Bruce Scott, to Jeff Seeney, to Deb Frecklington, we need your help. But the one thing that can change is the support of the public. This hospital supports our returned servicemen. In fact, it will support anybody who's in need, and it will save lives. We need to remember this is not another business. This isn't a business. This is a hospital. You will not get a new hospital built in the foreseeable future in the South Burnett. There's no money. There's no money at the moment. There's the wrong coloured government state-wise. And I'm not being political, I'm just saying that's the way it is. We have to retain our hospital. You can't give up. You can't just say, we can't do it and it's going to go away. We've got less than 2 months. Pulse Health have agreed and I thank them for it. And you know, I looked at blame. I looked at blaming the General Hospital for their change. But when you really thought of that, all they were trying to do is get more numbers to get a new hospital. Do you really blame them for that? No. They get cranky with the doctors. Talk to some of the doctors and they don't sell. Why don't you send them down to here? You know, maybe. They're wonderful people. They save lives. They commit to the South Burnett. They're here. They got homes here, whatever. I get cranky with Pulse. Filthy with Pulse. Mad with Pulse. Basically, they're a Sydney firm run by accountants who look at the bottom line. They're going to make a decision. So it does come back to us. But the simple fact is, I walked into Woolworths the other day and this pensioner came up with tears in her eyes. I don't know who she is, but she said to me, Kratzy, I'm proud of you for trying to keep our hospital open. And as I walked away, she said, don't give up. And we can't give up. Because you know what? We can get them. We can get somebody. Because, you know, if we have to you know where you have to get it? Because I've been on the wrong way. I've pleaded with statistics. And I've pleaded with paperwork. And showed whatever. But this is not about, it's got nothing to do. Because if you actually sit down and do due diligence and work out all the figures, and if the board members that you go to with a provider are made up of accountants, and I'm sorry for the accountants, Lester, that are here today, we can't win that one. Because you know why? This is about a hospital, it's about people, it's about heart. You have to change, we have to find compassion. So we've got the press here today, and was it set up to have some more press? Yes, it was. Because we need you, guys. We've got the South Burnett Times and South Burnett Online that we always have, and I'm thrilled that we've got the editor from the South Burnett Times here today, and I thank you very much, and because we need you guys. We need you guys, we need all the radio stations, we need everybody to get on board and say, the people of the South Burnett are not going to accept the closure of the hospital. Because my CEO, who's just been through a horrendous time health-wise as well. But the best news I ever told him was when I said to him that we can't run the hospital. Legally we can't, because he knows why. Why Gary was relieved about that, because he knows that I would have said, and council would have said, well, let's go down and run the hospital. Because we would. Happy to move the mayor's office down there. But you can't do it, because it's specialists. I've got no idea. Deb's a doctor, Deb could run it. We can't run it. It's a specialist thing. But basically, and the guts of everything, and the crucial point is what I'm trying to say, is you don't close hospitals anymore. I've been through this. I've got two of my great mates, Ronnie Mason, Winston Burrows in the gallery today, who went through the heartache of losing the Wandai Hospital. And we still have it, but it's not. We know it's not how it should be, or whatever. And I still remember people like Jess Keats and that, who would have, as members of the hospital auxiliary, who would have raised tens of thousands of dollars to keep that hospital going. That can happen here too, because I know our community. Our community will rise up and fund money and find money, but they want to know. Damien knows, Damien with Rotary and what the work that's done. But they want to make sure, they don't want to give it. People are proud here. They don't want to give money to Pulse Health. They want to give money to the South Burnett Community Hospital. But we need to get everybody on side. We need to get Country Focus in the Nango on side. We need to get Mergen Moments, because and Leo is here, just spotted him, because what Leo says is godlike in Mergen. If he says it, people believe it. We have to have everyone totally on side, and we have to make a stand. And I guess what this speech is about today is, if we get together and we rise up as one, I'll get somebody. Somehow I will convince someone in a board, because you know what? The board members that sit around, whether it's St Andrews or whatever, and it's unfair of me to one, but it's one that rolls off the tongue easy. Because you know what? They're made up of compassionate people. That's why they're board members. Yes, they've got expertise, that they're often doctors or skills, but basically they're compassionate people. That's why I've got to get to people. That's what annoys me, why the Minister, Susan Lee, won't speak to me. It's no use me talking to Chief of Staffs. They don't have compassion. They're brainy people, smart people who are paid to be staffers. Don't take this the wrong way to my general managers, but I want to talk to I want to talk to people who can change it. And the Minister can change, can do it. We don't need money, we just need commitment. Susan Lee walks through that hospital, Cameron Dick walks through that hospital, our hospital will stay open, because it will bring media attention. If we had a whale dying at Harvey Bay, right, who's just decided to beach because he's 182 years old and wants to be left alone and die peacefully, we would have Sunrise, the Today Show, A Current Affair, and every other one there taking films, and all these people touring buckets of salt over this 182-year-old whale, and this whale secretly saying, just let me die, peacefully. People will come out from everywhere. It'll be front page of the Courier Mail. I rang the Courier Mail. We're losing hospital. Doesn't warrant a story. Because mayors don't sell newspapers. People do. So to the South Burnett, and with your help, my plea is to give me the ammunition to keep our hospital open. So by lunchtime today, we will have a submission page written. What I need is as many people as possible to grab one and actually go out of their way and go to the local pubs and go to the town and drive out or whatever and get people to sign an individual letter with their name and whatever, and get that back to me within 7 days. And if the papers and the press can help in that way, that would be really much appreciated. If I can have them by next Wednesday, I will get in to those board meetings. I will get in with the ministers. Somehow I will get in. And I will take this from the people of the South Burnett to say, find us a provider, help to find us a provider to keep the South Burnett Private Hospital open. Because if it closes, and finally I've spoken for long enough, thank God I didn't write it down. One thing I am sure of, if our hospital, and it is our hospital, if our hospital closes on the 30th of September 2015, which is some 77 days from today, if that happens, it will never reopen. That is one thing I'm sure of. It simply can't happen. And as the Mayor of the South Burnett Regional Council, on behalf of all my councillors, I ask simply for one thing from the community of the South Burnett. I ask for your help. It's as simple as that.